Merry meet and welcome to Thrilling Thursday here at Ariel's Corner. This is Ariel Gatoga, and we are streaming live on YouTube. Moderating today are the lovely Jennifer and the lovely I Am Her Eminence. Thank you so much, moderators, and thank you so much to everybody for joining us today. I so appreciate you being here. I hope everybody's having a wonderful holiday season. And to remind us that we do not have streams next Wednesday or the following Wednesday. So we don't have streams on the 1st or the 8th of January. I'm so happy to be here. And let's see, we are streaming on YouTube, and we have on our website, arielscorner.com, links to our social media, which you can find in the footer of every page on that website. And two of those social media links might be interesting to you if you're not already on there. One is the private Facebook group, and the other one is our Discord server. And those are two places to just be involved in our community. And we'd love to have you be involved. Love a good conversation. We have also on that website links to register for every single one of our free courses in witchcraft and magic and occultism. We also have a bunch of free booklets, which are like mini courses that you can find on the website as well. Those are all free as well. We do have free lectures. We have free guided meditations and all kinds of cool stuff. So check it out, arielscorner.com, arielscorner.com. Remember also that we have daily tarot readings Wednesday through Sunday. Obviously, we're not doing it on Wednesday the 1st or the 8th, but normally Wednesdays through Sundays we have tarot readings in the morning, 9 and 9:15 a.m. Pacific time. And you can find those over on our tarot channel, and that is Ariel Gatoga Tarot. Ariel Gatoga Tarot. Now, if you missed the online tarot streams, if you missed the lives, you can watch them on that YouTube channel. And if you have a hard time finding the reading that you want, you can also find the restreams on our website, arielscorner.com. Just click on the free online tarot readings link in the main menu. We have a daily reading for all signs that you can listen to, and we also have a 2-week reading for each sign individually. So that can be your sun sign, rising sign, and or moon sign. So if you have a different sign for your sun sign, rising sign, and moon sign, you could have 3 personalized readings every 2 weeks. Isn't that fun? All right. Let's see. We have a chat thread open, and you can ask any questions that you may have, or just chat amongst yourselves about anything that you want. You are not being disruptive, even if you're chatting about something that I'm not talking about. So avail yourself to that. All right. Today we are not going to be working on any course or anything like that. I thought we would do a fairy tale today because we've been not giving the fairy tales the love that they deserve. So today we're going to do a fairy tale. I'm going to read the fairy tale, and then we'll analyze it a little bit as well. Before we do that, I wanted to show you, I just got my new shirt. I got a brand new shirt. This is so comfortable. And we sell these over at Ariel's Corner Shop. .com. We've got all kinds of things, of shirts, and not just the owl, but this is one that just came in. This shirt is really soft. It fits really well. It wears very well. I love it. I'm very, very pleased with our new shirts, and I hope you are as well. Also, I got a new mug. I've been buying all my own merchandise. I got the Raven mug. It is so yummy, and I just love having my coffee out of a Raven mug. Who doesn't like a good Raven mug? All right, let's get going. If you are in a place where it is safe and appropriate, please close your eyes and begin to take some nice, long, slow, deep, relaxing breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth. With every inhale, feel more light and peace entering the body and mind. With every exhale, let go of all tension in the body and anything in your mind that you do not want. Inhaling peace, exhaling as you let go. We picture ourselves on top of a beautiful mountain in the center of a circular grove of trees. In the center of our circle, a bonfire blazes forth, lighting us and the grove with a sacred golden light. This is the light of perfect love and perfect trust, and it easily and efficiently burns away everything unlike itself, leaving us safe and serene. Into the sacred space we invoke the presence of our Creator. To many of us, our Creator reveals themselves to be a mother and father, a goddess and God. We also call upon the presence of our teachers, our guides, our angels. We ask that they help us and guide us as we walk upon the way, becoming happier, wiser, more magical, more peaceful, and more loving people. Blessed be. This fairy tale comes from Italy, and it's called The Goat-Faced Girl. Once upon a time, a peasant named... Let's start that over again. Once upon a time, a peasant named Masaniello had 12 daughters, each born 1 year apart. Masaniello thought of his daughters like steps of a staircase because they were so evenly spaced apart. Providing for such a large family was difficult, and Masaniello spent his days working hard in the fields to earn enough for their food. Despite all his efforts, it was barely enough to get by, and the poor little girls often went to bed hungry. One day, while Masaniello was working at the base of a tall mountain, he discovered the entrance to a dark and gloomy cave that even sunlight seemed to avoid. Suddenly, a massive green lizard emerged from the cave and stood before him. Masaniello was terrified, as the creature was as large as a crocodile and just as fierce-looking. The lizard sat beside him in a friendly manner and said, "Don't worry, I won't hurt you. In fact, I really want to help you." When the peasant heard this, he knelt before the lizard and said, "Dear lady, for I do not know what else to call you, I am at your mercy, but I beg you to be kind, as I have 12 poor little daughters at home who rely on me." "That's exactly why I'm here," the lizard said. "Bring me your youngest daughter tomorrow morning. I promise to care for her as if she were my own, and treat her like the apple of my eye." When Masaniello heard her request, he was deeply upset. He was certain that the lizard, asking for one of his daughters, especially his youngest and most delicate, intended to make the poor girl a part of her supper. Still, he thought to himself, "If I refuse, she'll probably eat me right here and now. If I agree, I'll lose a part of myself. If I say no, she'll take everything. What should I do? How can I possibly get out of this situation?" As he kept muttering to himself, the lizard said, "Decide to do as I say right now. I want your youngest daughter, and if you refuse, things will only get worse for you." Realizing there was nothing more he could do, Masaniello headed home. When he arrived, he looked so pale and miserable that his wife immediately asked, "What's wrong, my dear? Did you have an argument with someone, or did the donkey fall?" "Neither one nor the other," her husband replied, "but something much worse. A terrible lizard has nearly scared me out of my wits. She threatened that if I don't give her our youngest daughter, she'll make me regret it. My head is spinning, and I don't know what to do. I truly feel stuck between a rock and a hard place. You know how much I love Renzolla, but if I don't bring her to the lizard tomorrow morning, I will lose my life. Please tell me what I should do." After listening to everything her husband had to say, his wife replied, "How can you be so sure that the lizard is really our enemy? Maybe she's actually a friend in disguise. Meeting her could mark the start of better times and the end of our struggles. So take the child to her, because my heart tells me you won't regret it." Masaniello felt reassured by her words. The next morning, as soon as it was light, he took his young daughter by the hand and led her to the cave. The lizard, waiting for the peasant to arrive, stepped forward to meet him. Taking the girl by the hand, she handed the father a sack of gold and said, "Take this gold, marry off your other daughters, and provide them with dowries. Don't worry, Renzolla will find a mother and father in me. She's very lucky to have ended up in my care." Masaniello, overwhelmed with gratitude, thanked the lizard and went home to his wife. Word quickly spread about how wealthy he'd become, and it wasn't long before suitors lined up to marry his daughters. Soon he married all of them off, and there was still plenty of gold left to ensure that he and his wife lived comfortably for the rest of their lives. When the lizard was left alone with Renzolla, she transformed the cave into a magnificent palace and brought the girl inside. There she raised Renzolla like a princess, providing her with everything she could need. The girl was given delicious food, beautiful clothes, countless servants to attend her every need. One day the king of the land was hunting in the nearby woods and got caught out after dark. Noticing the light shining from the palace, he sent one of his servants to ask if he could stay there for the night. When the page knocked on the door, the lizard transformed into a beautiful woman and answered it herself. Upon hearing the king's request, she sent back a message saying she would be happy to see him and provide everything he needed. The king, pleased by the invitation, immediately made his way to the palace. He was welcomed warmly. 100 pages holding torches greeted him, another 100 served him at the table, and a further 100 waved large fans to keep the flies away. Renzolla herself poured his wine, and she did it so gracefully that the king could not take his eyes off of her. After the meal was over and the table cleared, the king went to bed, and Renzolla removed his shoes. In doing so, she also stole his heart. The king fell so deeply in love with her that he called for the fairy and asked for Renzolla's hand in marriage. The kind fairy, only wanting what was best for Renzolla, happily agreed. Not only did she give her consent, but she also provided a wedding gift of 7,000 golden guineas. The king, overjoyed with his good fortune, prepared to leave with Renzolla, who didn't even thank the fairy for all she had done. Seeing such ingratitude, the fairy decided to punish her. She cursed Renzolla, transforming her face into a goat's head. In an instant, Renzolla's lovely mouth became a snout with a long beard at its tip. Her cheeks hollowed, and her beautiful hair turned into 2 sharp horns. When the king saw her, he thought he must be losing his mind. He broke down in tears and cried, "What has happened to the hair that captivated me, the eyes that stole my heart, the lips that I kissed? Am I supposed to spend the rest of my life with a goat? No, I will not let myself become a joke to my people for the sake of a goat-faced girl." When they arrived in his country, he locked Renzolla in a small tower room in his palace with a maid. He gave them each 10 bundles of flax to spin, and told them they had to finish the work by the end of the week. The maid, following the king's orders, immediately got to work. She combed the flax, wound it onto the spindle, and spun it at her wheel so diligently that everything was finished by Saturday evening. Meanwhile, Renzolla, who had been spoiled and pampered in the fairy's house and didn't realize how much her situation had changed, threw the flax out the window. She said, "What is the king thinking, giving me this work? If he wants shirts, he can buy them. It's not like he picked me up from the streets. I brought him 7,000 golden guineas as my dowry. I'm his wife, not his servant. He must be out of his mind to treat me this way." When Saturday evening arrived, Renzolla began to worry about being punished for her laziness after seeing the waiting maid finish her work. In a panic, she rushed to the fairy's palace and shared her troubles. The fairy kindly embraced her and gave her a sack of spun flax, telling her to show it to the king to prove that she was a hard worker. Without offering a word of thanks, Renzolla took the sack and returned to the palace, leaving the fairy upset by her lack of gratitude. When the king saw the flax all spun, he gave Renzolla and the waiting maid each a small dog, instructing them to care for and train the animals. The waiting maid raised the dog with great care, treating it almost like her own child. But Renzolla was less enthusiastic. "What is going on here? Have I ended up among lunatics? Does the king really think I'm going to comb and feed a dog myself?" she said. Then, without another thought, she opened the window and threw the poor dog out, killing it instantly when it hit the ground. A few months later, the king sent up a message asking to see how the dogs were doing. Feeling uneasy about this, Renzolla quickly ran back to the fairy for help. When she arrived at the fairy's palace, an old man standing at the door asked, "Who are you and what do you need?" When Renzolla heard this question, she snapped angrily, "Don't you know who I am, old Goatbeard? How dare you speak to me like that?" "The pot shouldn't call the kettle black," the old man replied. "It's not me but you who has the goat's head. Just wait a moment, you ungrateful wretch, and I'll show you what your lack of gratitude has caused." With that he hurried away and returned with a mirror. He held it up to Renzolla, and when she saw her ugly, hairy face, she nearly fainted from shock. Horrified by her reflection, she broke down into loud sobs, unable to believe how much her appearance had changed. The old man said, "Renzolla, you must remember that you are the daughter of a peasant, and the fairy made you a queen. But you were ungrateful and never thanked her for everything she did for you. Because of this, she has decided to punish you. If you want to get rid of your long white beard, go to the fairy now, throw yourself at her feet, and beg her for her forgiveness. She has a kind heart, and she might take pity on you." Renzolla, feeling deeply sorry for her actions, followed the old man's advice. The fairy not only restored her original beauty, but also dressed her in a gold-embroidered gown, gave her a stunning carriage, and sent her back to her husband with a group of servants. When the king saw her looking as beautiful as before, he fell in love with her all over again and regretted the pain that he had caused her. From then on, Renzolla lived happily ever after, loving her husband, respecting the fairy, and remaining grateful to the old man for his honesty. Okay, so let's just look at some of the themes in here. One theme is transformation through gratitude. Renzolla's physical transformation into a goat-faced girl symbolizes the consequences of ingratitude and arrogance. Her eventual return to beauty reflects the idea that humility, repentance, and gratitude can restore balance and harmony. There's also the theme of karmic injustice. The story illustrates the principle of cause and effect. Renzolla's mistreatment of others and her lack of appreciation for the fairy's kindness leads to her downfall. Her redemption only comes when she acknowledges her mistakes and seeks forgiveness. Another symbol is the mirror. The mirror held up by the old man symbolizes self-awareness and the importance of confronting one's flaws and character defects. Renzolla's shock at her reflection represents the moment of awakening we have, a necessary step for personal growth and transformation. Another theme is material wealth versus inner virtue. Renzolla's initial attitude, valuing her dowry over her responsibilities, emphasizes the importance of inner virtues like hard work, humility, gratitude, etc., over material possessions or social status. There's also a theme of testing character. The king's tasks, spinning flax and caring for the dog, serve as metaphors for life's trials, designated to test Renzolla's character. Her failure initially highlights her flaws, but her eventual repentance shows her potential for growth and redemption. There's also the theme of the fairy as a divine figure. The fairy represents a higher power or divine guidance, offering opportunities for growth, but also delivering consequences for moral failings. Her forgiveness symbolizes the grace available when someone sincerely repents for their mistakes. There's also the old man as wisdom. The old man signifies the voice of wisdom or conscience, guiding Renzolla to self-realization and showing her the path to redemption. There's the theme of beauty as a reflection of inner virtue. The story connects physical beauty to inner character. Renzolla's goat head symbolizes her moral decay, while her restored beauty reflects her renewed humility and gratitude. There's a theme of redemption through humility. Renzolla's act of throwing herself at the fairy's feet highlights the transformative power of humility and the willingness to seek forgiveness for past mistakes. There's the theme of balance in relationships. The resolution of the story, where Renzolla and the king reconcile, symbolizes the restoration of balance in relationships when respect, gratitude, and love are prioritized. The 12 daughters symbolize the burden of responsibility and the challenges of providing for a large family. They also represent the steps of a staircase, signifying progression and growth. The cave represents the unknown or the mysterious opportunity that carries both fear and potential reward. The lizard acts as a symbol of unexpected help or transformation, challenging preconceived notions about appearance and intent. It can also symbolize a test or a trial. The youngest daughter, Renzolla, represents innocence and sacrifice, often a recurring theme in fairy tales, where the youngest child plays a pivotal role in a resolution or transformation. The sack of gold symbolizes reward and prosperity that comes through taking a leap of faith or making a difficult decision. Masaniello's dilemma reflects a human struggle between self-preservation and sacrifice, highlighting moral and ethical decision-making. The wife's optimism represents faith, intuition, hope for a better life, and even, it represents faith, intuition, and the hope for a better life, even in the face of uncertainty. And it also highlights following one's inner guidance and intuition, following one's heart. The lizard's promise symbolizes trust and the idea that appearances can be deceiving. What seems threatening may actually lead to a positive outcome. And the transformation of fortune deals with the dramatic shift from poverty to wealth, symbolizing the potential for life-changing opportunities that arise from difficult choices. So I hope that was a fun little story for you, especially if you aren't familiar with that one. This one also it shows up in the Grimm fairy tales as a story about the Mother Mary, but this one is a little older version of it. Let me see if we have any questions. Ba-doop-a-dum. We do not have any questions. Well, thank you so much for spending some time with me. Thank you to our moderators, Jennifer and I Am Her Eminence. Thank you, Dre, also for all of your wonderful work that you do for us each and every day. And we will see everybody tomorrow for our Witch's Rosary. We should have a premiere tomorrow, definitely Saturday, and maybe even Sunday, because I have some editing that I've gotten done over the holidays. Thank you again for being here. Until next time, blessed be.